social activism and art. I am the assist, African support and strength, inspiration and success together. Shout out to Nick always, you know what I'm saying? The family, my brother Mile. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know where to begin. I just had a really robust conversation. You know what I'm saying? With the family. Always we always are exploring our existence. You know what I'm saying? And whatever level that you want to be on with that. Like we joke and talking about, shooting the shit, talking about shit, but it's always, I feel like, exploratory conversation, even in our jokes. The stuff that we feel might be funny is like that whole truth in the joke thing. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of transition going on. But I feel like, not feel like life is about change at all times. Just the way that existence is broke down, like things never stop moving. What you see right now is not a still frame. You know what I'm saying? A person is aging right before your eyes. Everybody. Transition is always happening. And I feel like when you really look at our like beginnings, humans they're migrating animals, species, creations. Because we're always expanding like the universe is. You know what I mean? We're always multiplying. When you talk about, what is the purpose of life is to promote and sustain life. Because everything in existence works together to keep existence going, so to speak. So, like, conversation for me and, my folks, and I will hope for everybody, like, we're having subject-based conversation, fact-based conversation amongst each other. Really exploring why are we at the points that we're at, in your life. And do you have people that you can have honest conversation with? And, we talked about how we can't allow people, to lie in our face anymore. We can't allow people to be delusional and we just sit to the wayside. We can't allow people to, like make up a reality right in front of our face. And, and a lot of that comes from, again, always that trauma. Like we are a very different type of African human being because of our existence 500 years on this plane. What they call North America. For whatever you want to say, the beginnings of this thing is for us. Conversation we had too. And I said something about this last week too, about the whole slavery didn't happen. Okay, cool. Let's just start from the point of tyranny and oppression and murder and brainwashing and abusing and molesting and raping and like, and I'm consistent with those things because that's really what this start off was. I'm not going to be delusional about the place that our people have been in for 500 years and what we have been subjected to. Whatever you want to call it. We know it's happening and it has happened and we seeing it in the way that we deal with each other, with this, what we look like socially, morally, ethically. Like, being an American is being bred to be a liar, to be a deceiver. We all, from our physical to the words that we say out our mouth, the language that we speak, the in-between words. I said definitely maybe to somebody. Definitely maybe. And I had to dig myself like, that was very European. How the fuck can you tell somebody definitely maybe? What language allows that? And we talk like it all the time. Like, yeah, I'll definitely maybe be back. Like, this shit is wild. And I speak to, the importance of language. The English being a bastardized language. It's a very violent language because deception is violence. Deception is violence. That's a level of violence you're committing against somebody because you're still in their reality. To get something for yourself, knowingly. So things that you do that are deceptive, that's very violent. And we're bred to do that. The movies we watch, the sitcoms, y'all know it. You know what I mean? I'm regurgitating shit that's already there. I ain't reinventing the wheel. I just want us to make sure we can maintain an understanding of what our reality actually is, because we try to move into these vague spaces too much, where you could just kind of be all over the place. The very thing of telling yourself you're all over the place. Where is all over the place? That's too vague. That's a place without accountability and responsibility. So when we in these spaces through conversation, we need to attack that. And I use that language on purpose. Attack it. Because it's people listening who don't know. It's babies around you who don't know. And if you allow them to believe this because you're not saying anything, you're being just as violent and dangerous as the person who's doing it. Because the result is still the same. It fucks up their orientation, whatever it is, whatever delusion, lies, misunderstandings that are not really misunderstandings, and you allow people to be around us and believe this is a thing. What's going on? You allow this to just be a thing. You're allowing this person or people to be indoctrinated because you're not saying anything. So we need to be having more conversation, more fact-based, or you're trying to explore a fact, trying to find a fact out. We need to be having more conversations like that across the board. Normalize that. All of those serious conversations, I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be serious. Something we've talked about on here over the years, and that not really being a thing. How we shut ourselves down with that type of language. You give people the out to not have to think, not have to truly be present. Because that's the thing of critical thought, and that's always going to be, I got my mantras too. I got my messaging, and you want to call it. When you can critically think, you can take things in deeper. You can be more present. It's no way to get away from the benefit and need and necessity of that skill. Conversation helps build that. Conversation is a great way to learn and be taught. So we need to have more in-depth conversations, preachy conversations, and push people to go get their facts. Because it don't stop at we just talking about it. Because we got a lot of people who talk about real information all the time and never act on it, never move on it. We all try to stay out of that phase. Because we all get there, when we do get to the space where we have some vision, we coming up with some ideas, some goals, we believing in what we might be able to accomplish. Because all that's real for African folk born in America, black folk culture. We all have that for the most part. Some people, are born into certain situations where the skill set was given, the access, the ability, the opportunities was given, and they kind of already feel a certain way about themselves. They have identity, another one of those mantras. What is your identity? Family identity is very important. Overall I'm African. I'm a black man, African, born in America. Jarue Jamaal Orji Tumojua. That's who I am. I'm the son of Rashima and Leroy. Fucking Leroy. Thank you, Mom. I gotta go see my mom after this. Serious. You know what I mean? But conversation. We need to have conversations, and we need to have in-depth conversations, and we need to, again, build those critical thinking skills, learn identity. Why we talk about Sherelle Parker not saying black. That leaves us in a space of vagueness, as if we're grouped in everybody else, as if our existence here hasn't been very distinct, very unique, peculiar. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why we allow people, to take that away from us from the standpoint of making sure the redress the reparation, the reciprocity is not lost because it hasn't been that for us. Statistically, we still moving on that small group of, like, that's the opportunity for the whole group, and that's not real. So with that being said, we need to be very aware of our identity. We need to be saying black, African, red, black, and green, whatever it is, because that's what it is. We need that language and that flag that we stand on, that we push our issues off of. And no matter where you at, in the city, out of the city, we unified under that. So we can have our internal skirmishes or misunderstandings. We can have that. But when we get to that greater society, it's like, nah, we moving on this, and it's unwavering. So those things are extremely important in how we move. And conversation is something that we got to dig more into. We do a lot of talking. Everybody want to be heard. That's not but it's like, are we having real valued conversations in terms of the information and what we all going to learn and come away from after that conversation? And then we build on those conversations. So definitely want to give a shout out to Blueprint to Peace program, the mentorship program. Y'all know I say eldership. And definitely the Panic Room, Monday, 6:30 to 8, virtual. Make sure you register at Blueprint to Peace. What is Blueprint to Peace program on Instagram? And I think one of the issues that I have with what's presently going on in Philadelphia, current affair type thing, it's a lot of information out about us locking up more young people than anybody else in the country, basically. And you can say it's Philadelphia. It says PA, if I'm not mistaken. And we need to be aware of that. We need to address that. We need to dig into that. Care Not Control. We just started a podcast. It's Uncaged Potential. I hope I ain't get that wrong. And it's some real dynamic young people talking about abolition. Something I stand on. I'm an abolitionist. Why are we locking people up? It's still slavery, part of the Constitution. And what we've done is kind of like vilified the young folks, left them in a space, pushed them into spaces to be ultra violent, very, very uneducated, undereducated, miseducated, very much abandoned, relinquished. I have an issue going on with my nephew right now, 14 years old. He want to be out here doing nothing. He got a little girl or whatever. They fucking because, everything is over-sexualized. We're a very over-sexualized society. And for a young boy going through puberty who already don't have no controls, having that amount of access and everybody being on that time, that's the verbiage. They don't have a real conversation. All they do is talk aggressive and violent to each other and sexual. It's not a whole lot of other conversations. They don't really know much or too much anything else to talk about anything else. They just mimic shit off of the phones and from each other. And because we don't have those systems in place as a community with strong identity, he has places to just be where folks are not being accountable because he's 14. So if a 14-year-old leaves a home, there should be no place for them to go where that home that they came from is not like, yo, I seen him here, or it was nobody, no adult. You know what I'm saying? No friend's mom, no cousin's mom, no sisters, whoever. It should be, what the fuck is you doing? Take your ass home. Everybody need to be on the same fucking page. That's the only way we gonna do it. Cause fucking him up is definitely a thing. Cause he's being ultra disrespectful. But he's 14. He think he knows some shit that he do not know. He believes in some shit, some delusions that he's been told and he's been shown. Whoever the little girl is or the homies are that he running around with, and the shit that they believe is all lies. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. They 14. They only been on the planet 14 years. But the thing of it is, you need more people to be accountable for our babies. Because how did they lock up more of our babies than anybody else's in the country? And they ain't been locking them the fuck up in other states and cities. It ain't like that's not happening. Especially in a lot of these county and rural areas now, where a lot of this gentrification has spilled out to. And all the resources have been dried up in those areas because the privileged white folks who were given grants to live out there and be able to build it up and accumulate wealth now want to be back in the city. So they're taking all of their tax dollars out of that area, and it's being replaced with people who are coming in Section 8, 40,000, 50,000 a year, taking care of whole families. So you basically had people living in an area that was running on, say, everybody making 120,000 a year, and the numbers are this crazy when you look at the wealth gap between black people and white folks. It is that crazy. So you can really have a community where people are making 110,000 a year, leave it, and the people who replace them making 11,000 a year. The gap really that ridiculous. Go look it up. You might say, "Oh, your numbers are exaggerated." Cool, go look it up. But I bet you what you see is going to be exaggerated. So that's how this shit played out. And these are the dynamics that, we find ourselves under. And we playing a game with it. But what I do need, again, from my brothers and sisters, my brothers, we need to coalesce around our young people. Because they let a certain amount of dudes free after they did them do ridiculous amounts of time. So I don't know how much of a win or a celebration that is. For real. Because they took so much away from these men. But while you were putting that in our face, a small group of, look at the numbers. While you were showing us that and talking about how these brothers is coming home and they putting them in position and you got all this energy and it's the violence going on, but you're sending our kids to jail. So you let these older dudes home after they did ridiculous amounts of time, which left the space there for all of the chaos that ensued, left the space there, didn't create, didn't cause it. Left the space there. Very detrimental in and of itself, but did not create it. But you lock all these dudes up for 20 to 30s a years, 15s to 30s, and all of this good shit, and they leave this vacuum. This ain't new shit. Y'all already know, but it's going on in real time. That's what I need y'all to understand, though. We talk about this information like I know that, I know this, but look what's happening in real time. Philadelphia, in particular, has locked up more young people than anybody else in the country. What do you think them young people look like? Who kids are those? Whose children are those? Ours. Black folk. 44% of the city. Those are our babies they locking up. So they showed you this shit and let some men home, right? And I love it. Because I walked the track with them dudes when they thought they wasn't coming home. They thought this was my home. I'm going to die here. And now to see those brothers home is wild. It fills you up, but now you got to understand the system plays with everything. So Jarue, turn down that emotional part because of what you went through with these brothers and understand the orchestration that's going on with this shit. And what they using this for, because they could have been let them brothers home. They been knew that shit. I need y'all to understand that too. This shit don't be new. Ain't no light bulb just going on with motherfuckers. They're strategically making plays with human bodies to get what they want. This ain't no light bulb shit. You can't speak truth to power. They already know. That's how they getting. All you doing is telling them they fucking stats. Why they figure, oh, y'all know now, we got to switch it up. But things, yeah, we going to try to redress some of that shit. Get the fuck out of here, because that's what's happening with us. So while you letting the men home that you took away for 20 to 30 years and left the babies, the moms, the grandmoms, these communities vacant so that it can explode with violence and distrust and lack of unity, even further than it already was. Now you done did that. Then you show us on TV, oh, we letting these brothers get them organizational position, making them gatekeepers. Y'all know what I say about the Grateful Jail niggas. You just want to prove so bad because you know you did what you did. You got some level of information, politicize yourself to whatever level. But you still caught up in the American reality, although you saying you black and you for black issues. You don't owe nobody nothing. The system created you. It attacked you and put you in that space and made you believe it was independent thought. And a lot of us ain't never had an independent thought in our lives. We've been misunderstood, miseducated, undereducated from day one. Everything you doing is mimic. You ain't figuring it out really for yourself what you like and what you don't like. You following the trend. You following the wave. And it don't stop. Age don't stop. And niggas be caught in it, especially when nigga been in jail. That second child, oh my God, you never grew up. We all battle it. I know that it's real. And most niggas is falling victim to it. And they not growing up. That nigga the same age as when he got incarcerated, bro. He left 18, came back 36, he's still 18. Y'all know him? I tell y'all, it's a level of mental illness. It's like what I say with my sisters with the code switching. That shit driving y'all crazy. That's the vagueness of life. Who are you? Trying to have all these spirit animals and alter egos and all of this shit. Be you. Stay on that for about a good year. Stick to one thing, one person, one who you gonna be for a good year. Put a whole bunch of energy and understanding and self-care into that one identity. Be that for like a good year. Search it out. See who you are. Again, going back to stop living in these delusions. Because the game is consistently being played in your face. Again, y'all let all these brothers out. A lot of them you ain't want to. You telling me that they shouldn't have never been treated like that because they couldn't calculate risk. That's really what the core of it is. Something they already know, right? So you let me out of jail for that. After you made me do 30 years, do you know these motherfuckers were still fighting to keep majority of these brothers, which they are, on parole? That wasn't an acknowledgement of anything. That was a transfer of ownership. You went from the South to the North after the emancipation, after the Civil War. That's all that happened to you. You still on paper. Custody level 1. Custody level 1. So what the fuck we talking about? Ain't nobody get free. But while they doing that and making us think that there's some changes going on in the criminal justice system, they indicting all the young boys. And yeah, it's a small group of vicious ones that America done drove crazy. Out they little minds. All they doing is what you told them to do to be resilient because you ain't give them nothing else. That's what they doing. I know it's wild, crazy, and it causes a lot of destruction to us. But again, a creation. Why is a 16-year-old even thinking about shooting another 16-year-old? Let that sink in. They only been on the planet 16 years. How could they get to a point in their young lives to want to end each other's young life? Think about that shit. It don't make no sense. How? How is that a reality? How do it get 16? And you know they start younger than that. I started younger than that. 14. How did I get in 14 years to thinking Killing somebody else, shooting another motherfucker was the way. About anything we went through. I only been on the planet 14 years. How? Think about that, y'all. It's wild. That is crazy. We don't deal with like, I think y'all think after the death part, that's when y'all get. No, the process. How did they get to the part when they thought that was okay? To the point now, y'all know it was scoreboards and all that about ending life, babies. Man, y'all don't look at it. Y'all think y'all feel it, but y'all don't. That's wild to me. Cause how we not talking about that all day, every day? Nothing else. Like, think about it. How can we ever stop talking about something extreme as that? And we're talking about a small group of them. We vilified the whole age group. And there was a lot of young people hovering around that small group who y'all drove that crazy, who y'all allowed. Forced. Orientated to be. And then blamed them. But it's cool. All right, it's happening. It already happened. So you got a lot of other babies, majority of them hovering around that. They want to be attached to it because it's family, because it look thorough, because they fearful. Whatever the attachment is that makes them think that that's something they want to be connected to, young men and young women. Where was the void left where they thought that that's how taking up their time made sense? And then the only other thing that they can do with each other, because there's no money involved, is have sex. And everything around them is ultra-sexual. Like I said, again, we dropping the ball. Motherfuckers ain't been around. Motherfuckers been on their own shit. The adults, that is, the moms, the dads, the parents, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, not just the mom and the dad. The aunts and uncles, which y'all don't have no responsibility for none of this shit no more. Ain't no obligation with that, except for when you just want to feel good about being auntie so-and-so. Uncle this, that, and the third. Other than that, you don't got no consistent movement with nobody in the family. And yeah, y'all know you might play a dual role. You might be dad and uncle. But it's a way to map all that out that we really need to be looking at. We gotta invest back in that time overall. Stop saying mom, dad, and whatever they going through is the end all be all how these babies turning out. The aunts and uncles ain't digging in enough. The big brothers and big sisters, because they not being taught it. Grandma got to dig in a little bit more. Become grandmom again. Straight up, just grandmom. I'm grandmom. And I have a role and responsibility to my family. That comes with being called grandmom. That's why I love being called grandmom. Not glam mom, not whatever the names is that we come up with. Just be grandmom and absorb that obligation. You know what I'm saying? And if everybody, like any and everything, if everybody play their part and show their part, nobody can get burnt out and everybody can be supported. And it's an understanding across state lines, you know what I mean? And I was only saying that like when somebody get into a relationship with somebody, now two families is coming together because a baby is being born or they're getting married. But we already have a baseline of aunts, uncles, everybody know their responsibility and what their obligation is to the family and digging in that way. And then this other family that you get attached to, however you get attached to them, they have that understanding too. So when y'all attach, it's two families that move with this symmetry that becomes a bigger family. And we can get other shit going on. That's already probably going on because everybody understands their roles and responsibilities, their obligations. So it's one of those things where it's like, how did we allow this to go down? And we talking about it right now. And I think that it's a lot of things that we need to pay attention to. Act 40 is still a real thing. SEPTA still got their own prosecutor. SEPTA about to change up how they slowly but surely you seeing the different changes on SEPTA. A whole bunch of young people have been indicted by Larry Kazner's office. And we need to, how do we redress that? The mayor has given the cops the carte blanche, the money. So it's a lot of, and we've already done the work though. As in Philadelphia, locking up the babies, we turning a blind eye, we starting to hate the babies, hate the children. I don't understand. Like, that's how it happened. It happened for a reason. It was very targeted. And then we got to look at the school system, the school district. Don't leave them out as it pertains to our babies going to prison. Do not. Don't do that by one stretch of the imagination. School to prison has it. School to prison initially was because you are not functioning within the school. As you go through the school, you wind up getting away from school, dropping out of school, winding up in the streets. You don't have the education to do the different things that you may need to do if you want to get a job or things like that. Even your ability to think, all of that is in question, right? So the school to prison pipeline was more of like the process of and how they could recognize as early as 4th grade, 9 years old, what young folks were going to drop out of school, not make it, mainly young men. And then the other part about it with these evaluations and putting young men, majority black young men, into special education, as if the only motherfuckers that got learning disabilities and need some type of special attention in school, behavior issues and all that, are black boys. Going to an even deeper junk science thing that has always permeated our schools about black folk being inherently violent, trying to prove it, read medical apartheid, the experimentation that has been done on black people because of thinking we can take more pain, we're inherently violent. It's just a wild ass shit. They just come up with anything. Well, let's experiment on a nigga. Let's cut him open with no anesthesia, see how it feels, see how long he can take the pain. This is shit that really happened to our people. Read the book. This is not an extreme. This is not shock value shit. When I talk about what happened to our people, it's in these books. It's documented. It really happened to people. They really just decided to go in barns and be like, all right, bend over. We're going to do 30 surgeries on your vaginal area and give you dope as the anesthesia. And then say you wanted it because you kept coming back. Because you didn't know dope was addictive. And it didn't really do nothing to stop the pain. That's documented. They wrote about it, not me. Sims, his name is Dr. Sims or something. He's in some halls in some of these schools. I think he's a fucking crackpot. A murderer. Who would do that to somebody? It's not the thing of it being done. That's wild in and of itself. But the person who sits there and does that. Like, y'all gotta really take this shit in sometime to see the depths of where a motherfucker be at and how they got us where we at. Who the fuck would go to a woman, and I'm only talking about one woman. It was multiple women they were doing these experiments on. The founding fathers of the GYN, OBGYN. Y'all know what I'm talking about. OBGYN. He's the founding father, a man at that. That throws me off too. The arrogance of white men and what their feminist wives will go for. That's wild. He's the father of gynecology. A man, a white man. Hey, man. Hey, I'm. Anybody can do it. I know. Anything's possible. You know what I mean? Disneyland. But the shit that blows my mind is the fact that you would sit there and repeatedly cut somebody open with no anesthesia, just trying to see what's happened next. No real rhyme or reason. Just really doing experiments and seeing where it goes and document it as you go. And then you got this collection of information. But think about the process of that. Like, what? And this shit was very neurotic and sexual. These women were being raped at the same time. Europeans in the love of necrophilia. You know what they was doing to the dead bodies. It's documented. They wrote it down, not me. Jarue didn't write this about these people. I didn't write it. They wrote it. They documented it. They documented the experimentations and what was going on with them. They did it. I didn't do it. They kept the journals. And they was in the halls of these fucking colleges and all that. And you got to have special clearances to get back there and get those books and see those experimentations in their rare form, their beginning form, actual handwriting notes and all that type of shit. Medical journals of what they've done to people, us, not people, black people. Just not anybody. Just not anybody. Us. Even in death. You heard them stories about the motherfucking John Hopkins and University of Georgia and 300 corpses under the school. You couldn't bury those black people? I didn't make this shit up, bro. So anyway, this is the shit that we need to be understanding about what's happening to us systematically. Why we are where we're at with our sight, with our intellect, while we're moving the way that we're moving. And the danger it is that some of our people are so far gone, they will leave you stinking with necessarily not even that intention. And in order to try to create brotherhood and sisterhood and familyhood, you got to go into some of these dangerous spaces emotionally with people, physically with people, psychologically with people, to see who can we salvage for this war. Cause that's what it sounded like to me. That's what it looked like to me. So the school to prison pipeline was a systematic thing, and then they were telling you what the school could tell you by how young people were responding to their matriculation through school, through pre-K, elementary, middle, junior high. Junior high definitely coming back, has to come back. High school, and then so forth and so on. But now the first contact is happening in the school. The school is the prison. They already getting them prepared for how it's going to look even when they go to prison, with the metal detectors and security and all that good stuff, and how they run in the school and the language that's being used in the schools. When things happen, when indiscretions happen with children. Everybody's 18 and under, remember? 17 and under. Depending on where you're at, you're 13 and under, 15 and under, 16. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you do. This is the populace that you're dealing with, and you're putting language together. A child can get sexual assault in school. Like, that's really how it's written up. Terroristic threats in school. The school is writing it up with this language. Not the cop, if called. The school is using this language and passing it along. And you don't think that language goes to family court? Where y'all charging everybody as adults? Y'all sending everybody to get charged as adults now? Like, we need to go and go into some of these courtrooms and just pay attention to what's going on. Have conversation. Back to the beginning. Have conversation. Have conversation. How is this happening? How are so many of our children being relinquished? What is the systematic part of this game that's being played on all of us? To the point where those of us who are in the margins, doing the work, trying to maintain these connections, trying to strengthen our fabric. Like, it's not enough. We need more consistency of thought. We need more consistent conversations around these children can't do whatever they want. And it don't have to be you by yourself. We need a chorus of folks telling these babies, no, you have to go home. You can't stay here. No, you can't hang with my daughter. No. Where is she at? You need to go home. Y'all need a chaperone. Those chaperones take disciplined parents. That's where it goes back to the aunts and uncles and all that. That's a discipline. Can I get a little bit of guidance time? Can I get a little bit of monitoring for your blood, for your family? Can I get a 2-3 hour where you can cut out some time where, I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around. Whatever that means for the nieces and nephews, my children, 3 hours I'm going to be around. That's what we going to do. Nah. I don't want to watch Jeopardy, man. Why I can't watch Jeopardy and let them just run around? I'm getting smarter, right? Watching the game show, Wheel of Fortune, and all that. You know? Why can't I just watch the news real quick? The news is your baby ain't in the house and he is 13. Your daughter is 12. You're trying to watch the T on your phone. No, get the fuck up. Where is your child? Where is your niece? Where is your little brother? Where is your baby cousin? Can we get a roll call one time? Can you do that? I think that might work. We be on the phones a lot. I think that might work. Can we get a roll call to all the young people in your family that you fuck with? It ain't even got to be a phone call. Can we get a quick joint? No text, though. Like, text to let me know you're alive, but call me and just be like, yo, I'm cool. All right. Where you at? Can we get 2-3 adults in the family to do a roll call with the young people in the family? I might got Monday, you got Wednesday, auntie got Friday. You got to find out where they at. Call everybody. Get them used to it. Start them young. Even the ones you know ain't going nowhere. Call them when they like 4. Where you at? You know I'm in the house. I can't go nowhere. But they start learning young because then you call. Where your brother at? Your brother in there? No, don't worry about it. I'm going to call him. Your sister in there? You start teaching them young, playing with them though. And then they start looking for the roll call. Auntie going to call every Monday. Roll call. She going to call for all of us. You got to start that shit young. It's basic. It's basic. But if we can get 3 adults in each family to do that with all the young people, a lot of this shit might not be a thing. I promise you. Because sometimes that's all they give a fuck about. A little bit of care. That's why they be wanting to turn off so much and not care. Consistency of thought. That shit don't take no whole bunch of time. If I could get 3 adults, I don't give a fuck what age you are, 21 or no, whatever we gonna call an adult, in each family to do a roll call with all the young people. If you could do it with all the young people, you know that would be dope. But if you just got 2 little brothers and a little sister and a little cousin that might stay around, and you calling them, and you get grandma to do it and mommy to do it, you do it Wednesday. I'm just saying, I ain't saying it's the end all be all. But it's a way for motherfuckers to know what's going on. But, you know, it's shit like that. Small responsibilities, man, that we all can take on. And again, if you show these baby shit, and y'all see what all the fucked up shit with the phones and the tablets and the shit y'all be doing, we be doing. Me too. I try to be an example as much as I can, but I know everything they see from me ain't the right shit. As I try to keep it away from or just not do. But majority of my shit is on. And I do it on purpose. That's the other thing that's throwing me off about my nephew. I don't got all the shit. But I got some answers. And I've been there. Whatever you could try to tell your young self. I've been there. So, shit, wow. We need more consistency and thought when it comes to our children. Because they've locked up more children than anybody else in the country. What do those children look like? Who do they look like? They are our children. Mainly boys, but the girls are catching up. How? And then a lot of these niggas was talking about killing the young boys anyway. Niggas my age. They don't want to take the responsibility of getting them together, so they rather just get them out the way. I know. I come from your era, nigga. I come from the drug era. Use the young boy all the way up. That's why all the young boys start burning niggas. That's why it really happened. That's why all the young boys really start burning niggas, because the old heads was fucked up with the way they was moving with the bread. And they wanted you to be out in the cold all day while they was at the bar, at the club, fucking with the bitches, sliding through. And it wasn't no real order of operations for most motherfuckers. They were just using whatever young boys they had up. Some niggas was looking out for their hood and all that, but then niggas start realizing, like, nah, I ain't hustling for no fucking old head. I'm not shooting for him, I'm shooting for me and my man. Fuck that systematic shit, because you niggas ain't playing fair. Because these niggas was taught by white men, they ain't really know. They just applied to the drug shit. They thought they were supposed to act like that. They watched enough nut-ass mobster movies. and tried to relive the shit through drug shit. I know you niggas was doing it. Don't act like you wasn't. Fuck you get your order of operations from the little bit that we did have. You didn't know nothing about crack when it came out. You didn't know how this shit was going to sell. Niggas was learning on the fly, I know. But you was fucked up. Because you had fucked up orientation. So you burnt the young boys the fuck out, and the young boys start burning everybody. I was one. You give me a little bit of coke, I'm robbing you. And I carry this 357. And however it go down, it go down. And I'm stupid. Because I'm ready to die over $200. But you shouldn't have tried to burn me and give me a 250 pack. Fuck, that ain't no money. I'm out here ready to go to fucking jail or get robbed or killed. So if you was a nigga that was giving me 50 off 100, I made sure that shit came back and was loyal to it. But if you try to come tell me, I'll give you 25, all right, here, give it to me. Because you know what the value is. You know what this shit is out here. You know niggas getting 40 off 100. 30. Y'all know the language I'm talking about. Niggas getting 35 off 100, 30 off 100. Niggas really showing you some love. They'll give you some weight and just tell you to bag your own shit up and give them the difference back. You still selling for the nigga, but you bagging your own shit up. You bossing. So that shit was fucked up. And it created fucked up mindsets, a bunch of them. So you niggas come home with the same drug dealer mentality as it pertains to fucking youngins. But now you the nigga that used to be the youngin with the same fucking mindset. That's why you thinking in terms, man, kill these young boys, man. I don't get my fucking burner. I'll knock one of these young boys the fuck off. And all the niggas that's trying to get license to carry, just scary. Because you might have been in it, still got the kind of same mindset, because a lot of you niggas want to be drug dealers. Y'all get y'all real jobs, have good jobs, and do all the shit the drug dealers do. Go to the places the drug dealers go. The street niggas, whatever it is, drug dealer killers, whatever they are, organized crime niggas, whatever. But you get your regular job, go buy the cars that them niggas got, go wear the clothes them niggas wear, go hang out with, and some of you goofy niggas try to get the women. But you a working nigga. She gonna fuck your life up. It's just all different dynamics to this shit, man. But what all that shit speaks to is leaving the babies out again. The same way we did in the drug era. The drug had, you left the babies out there. The moms got on the shit. The niggas in the street don't give a fuck about the kids. They want to run around, live this drug life, this money, or chase it. Because a lot of you niggas never really blew. Or you had a summer. It wasn't no consistency in that shit. Niggas was going in and out of placement. Nigga couldn't get no work because he robbing niggas, burning niggas. Some of you niggas was just straight burn niggas. And you know, we Philly niggas, so it's like, you feel entitled to everything. When I get down on my dick, everybody up. Damn. That's how we move, though. You hear it in the young boys' music right now. They already done incorporated into how they do their friendships. I know this nigga might snake me, but we gonna rock out anyway. We gonna rock out anyway. They just incorporated into their shit. This what y'all left them. This what we left them. I'm just articulating the point. But why we gotta keep leaving them? We see what's going on. We done went through these systems. They showed us. Every nigga that went through prison. One thing, white supremacy was shown to you in a clear, concise manner. What America really is as it pertains to the black man. If you went through any prison system, you wanted to understand slavery, Jim Crow South, prison showed you that shit. Because they ain't give a fuck about your body. Nigga, get naked. And you ain't do shit. You would have killed a nigga whole family, he tell you to get naked out here. White man get you in his system. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. So let's stop this shit, bro. If you've been through this system, you know what America is. I don't give a fuck what your education level is. How they done tricked your brain up. You know. And I know you know because I was there with you. But we ain't got to keep doing that shit, bro. And women, tell these niggas to fight. Stop calling them. Wherever they at, tell them to fight. For real. This shit serious. Everybody be talking about they know about it. We ain't moving on nothing. And it's there for us too. So make sure y'all check out Blueprint 2 Peace program at Blueprint 2 Peace on Instagram. Panic Room, Monday, virtual, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Tap into the services, man. They got a health and wellness, man, in their eldership program. I know it's mentorship. I'm going to say eldership. Health and wellness program plan for you. Get your body right so you get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? They got other programs that get you educational supports that you need so you can have skill sets to change your life. And they have the eldership to give you that advice. The people with lived experience have a variety of different expertise to kind of help you along and let you know what the next move should be. And the panic room is something, and for me, dealing with the mental health part of it. Like, tap into these resources, and the more we tap into these resources, they can expand and they can grow, and it's coming from us. That's another thing I'm big on, us having our own services that we can support within our community. That's just, again, nothing new. I'm not making up anything new. I'm just regurgitating things that our elders been saying for 500 years plus. So make sure y'all check out the Panic Room, virtual, 6:30, 8 o'clock, Blueprint 2 Peace program at Blueprint 2 Peace on Instagram. And that's a 2, the number 2. Yo, I love doing this show, man. Like I always say, y'all, because it's therapy. I like to get, I be feeling like I can get my shit off a little bit. Some things that be on my mind. There you go. There you go right there. At Blueprint 2 Peace. That's Instagram. But make sure y'all look it up, man. Look into it. You can look on our page, PSA, at PSA_community, at Jarue Lawson. You can check both of them out. I'm going to be sending more. If you in my contacts, you'll be getting more of I'm kind of lost to what that message is, but I'm about to bounce. All right. No. The finger red, number 1. My sister just put that up there. But I'm about to get out of here in a minute. I was just doing my little closing little thing going on, making sure, y'all check out at PSA_community. Y'all go to Philly Service Announcement Live YouTube channel. Make sure y'all always checking out Glockaware. You know what I mean? At Glockaware. So listen, man. This is Philly Service Announcement. Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social Activism, Resources, and Art. I am the Assist, African Support and Strength, Inspiration, and Success Together. Shout out to Glockaware, all the whole fam. Nick, the Cannons, everybody. Y'all already know how that goes down. My brother Mal, Mark, Pop. You know what I'm saying? All my brothers, Duke. You know what I mean? Mill, Tashawn. I love black people, my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing out here. Peace.